Hello, everyone, and welcome back to another episode of Magnificence. Here in one of our possibly final phases of the fight against the corpse, here in the heart of more Akros. I'm very excited and also legitimately a bit nervous about how this fight is gonna go. As the DM, I want these people to survive, of course, but I'm not gonna pull punches for them anymore. I did all the art for the character portraits, and I'm willing to do another one if someone has to come back with a new backup character. I'm willing to do that. But I'm very excited to have you here. I'm very excited to be back. I know all my friends here are very excited to be back. I know we're all feeling it today for this upcoming fight. So let's get right into it. First off, of course, as always, with just a quick thank you and shout out to Sarsen Games for their Oracles of Agra sourcebook. You can't see it, but I'm holding it in my hands right here. I love it. It's so much fun to play with, and I think people should check it out. So let's get into a quick little recap before we jump in. So our last session, we had our second phase of the corpse fight in a sort of strange, psychic, crumbling dreamscape, you could describe it as. The party found themselves facing what appeared to be, but they knew not to be true, Alina, in the silent, empty landscape around them. They continued engaging in the battle, seeing memories in the strange smoke that floated around, depicting a woman that none of them had ever seen, speaking to someone that they could not see, with context they could not grasp, context they could not understand, seeing a series of events that this woman was going through, ending with her in a less than ideal state. Towards the end of the fight, eventually wearing down the corpse enough, one perfect, true strike from Olwen Tanner sunk one last arrow into the not Alina Monson's chest. She laughs, tells them none of you are unique in your struggle. How they've done this many times, and at the end of the day, it all ends the same. After all, there's no other way to satiate my hunger than to consume. The figure falls, disappears, and the smoke forms one last vision, seeing a tall, broad-shouldered figure with long, straight hair, their left arm looking bulkier than the rest of their body under their cloak, standing near the edge where the corpse disappeared, turning towards the party but vanishing before they can see their face completely. The environment shifts again, and the party finds themselves back in the cathedral, hearing from Leto that the party all collapsed at once, and that the corpse had fled out the doors from where they had entered, past Leto, past the party, deeper into more Akros. The party takes time to have a short rest, knowing that the fight is not quite over. They have to face the corpse one final time, in her true physical form, before they can allow themselves to leave. And that's where we're going to start our session today, everyone. Somewhat dire and strange circumstances we find ourselves in, but exciting nonetheless. Sitting here at the top of our first session, what's everyone doing? We're at the end of our short rest. Any other preparation? We discussed above table briefly before starting good berries that Olwen Tanner handed out. Any other preparation here at the end of our short rest before you're all leaving this cathedral to face the corpse for what is hopefully the final time?
Do we see Alina come to at this point?
I'm fine.
Took you a bit to come back. Are you sure?
As sure as I can be. It wasn't me. I could see it. I could see you all. I kept trying to say, see me, but you couldn't hear me. I couldn't move. I was just watching. It was like a story playing out in front of my eyes.
I could see into the ethereal and I couldn't see you.
I don't know. I was watching, but I wasn't able to do anything. Good shot, by the way, Olwen.
Thank you. Or where'd you go? I thought that was you at the beginning, but
I don't know. I was just watching.
from their eyes, or?
From outside. Gee, correct me if I'm getting this wrong.
For Alina, it was essentially like you were dreaming of the battle. So it's like you know, when you wake up, you can't quite remember your dream, but you have like fuzzy images of it. You were essentially just like having a dream of this battle happening, of you, quote unquote, fighting your friends, essentially.
Well, we knew it wasn't you, otherwise we wouldn't have been firing arrows.
Elena gives Suda a long glance.
She opens her mouth to speak and closes it very quickly.
I think depending on like the vividness of the dream, Alina would have seen that Olwen couldn't fire right away. He just couldn't.
Leto, at the end of this short rest, has like gathered all of his own supplies, basically just becoming a default. I'm gonna carry all the stuff so you guys can focus on fighting because I can't fight, is the attitude he's having at the moment. He gets a torch lit and holds it out in front of him, but is standing right by the doors, are still slightly ajar. You feel the earth around you like shake and rumble slightly, not as much as when it was causing rock falls, but you still feel like movement and disruption. You know for a fact that once you go out there, you're gonna have a lot more to face. But Leto is standing by the doors, looking at everyone sort of imploringly. Are we ready to go? I took samples of anything that was left behind to not make this horrifying trip just that. But
Sage is going to check in with Olwen and Suda in particular as the people who were extremely low hit points. Let's make sure that they're bandaged up properly, feel like they can grip their weapons properly and all of that. And as she's doing that, like maybe wrapping some wound on Suda or something like that. I do have to wonder why it chose your form, Alina.
I don't know.
Yes, this is all very touching, but I think we can philosophize and ponder later once we're out of here. Let's move.
Suda just strides forward down whatever path is available to them.
you all exit. You push open the doors to the cathedral the rest of the way. It's kind of like a tense push open the doors. You're expecting something to jump you immediately, but it's just silence. Just that same deep rumbling. You hear rocks fall somewhere in the distance and crash down. You hear some of the stone buildings begin to break apart, but nothing quite near you yet. The vines, any that remain, are withered and dead. Any of the crystalline clusters that remain are no longer lit. The light from within is dim and dead. The same feeling as when you first entered Mor Akros, just walking through something totally abandoned and just basically holding your breath in the quiet. You all walk forward. Everyone, I'm guessing, weapons out, ready to go, just incredibly tense. And you leave this strange cathedral behind and continue towards the stairs that will lead you out. As you get closer and closer towards the stairs that will take you up to the next ring, and the next after that, and the next after that, eventually getting you slowly, agonizingly slowly back to the surface, you hear that rumbling intensify. It gets louder as it is closer to you. And as you get closer to this set of stairs set to take you up to the next ring, you realize it's no longer happening around you, it's now happening in front of you. You see no remains of any of the corpse creatures scattered around. No remains of anything. Just rubble that falls from the ceiling. None of it quite big enough to be of any real danger. But the ground continues to shake. And as you turn the corner, approaching the darkened staircase in front of you, you see the massive amounts of those red crystalline clusters begin to light up once again, glow, brighter and brighter and brighter, revealing the darkened passageway in front of you, and a figure that is unfamiliar and terrifyingly large that was standing in the dark, waiting for you to get here. Standing here at the base of the stairs, effectively blocking your way out of the heart of Mor Akros. We see a figure approximately 12, 13 maybe feet tall, incredibly broad-shouldered, made of mottled and slightly decayed flesh, all strapped together, barely held together, with these red crystals bursting forth from its bone and deep stone that makes up its form. You see that mottled face of the corpse sits among a dozen others. The corpse stands before you, tall and terrifying. Several extra arms that do not belong to it sticking out from shoulders from its back. A couple of legs sticking out where they should not be. And as I said, extra faces. One between the shoulders, a couple scattered across its chest. Just horrible, decay-stricken body parts that are all squished together in a horrifying Frankenstein-like creature. And she stands before you at somewhat of an angle, as if unable to support the weight, and barely rolls her head over to look at you. Those empty eyes of a decayed, long-abandoned corpse look at all of you. I told you not to come. Now you can't go. We can't go anywhere! Slams fists down into the ground. Everyone roll initiative. So anyone above 20.
22.
All right, 15 to 20.
19.
10 to 5.
6.
6.
6. Suda and Carrie actually have the same dex. Let's do a roll-off. 14.
Carrie gets it.
So in terms of that, it's Carrie, Suda, Sage. At the top of our round, we have Olwyn Tanner. What would you like to do?
I think Olwen sees this thing lumber forward, and one of his hands quickly just reaches into his pouch, and almost stumbling it behind him, a mess of different seeds falls to the ground behind him. He forces them to grow underneath the ground as a small sprouting of entangling vines appears partially next to the creature in such a way that it's trying to block off some of the path it can take. And I'm going to cast Entangle, placing it partially underneath the creature, and the rest of it is splayed out to the right of it to try and stop it from getting closer to the majority of our group.
What is the save for that again?
It is a strength saving throw, so I'm gonna guess it's gonna succeed. I'm doing this for the difficult terrain.
Yeah, it rolled not well, but it got a 24. Yeah, the vines try to entangle, wrap around some of the limbs, some of the extra limbs that it isn't using, that are just hanging off in a horrifying manner, and it just rips them free.
Olwen will move a little bit towards his right, sort of hugging towards the wall, pulling out his bow and getting ready, and that will be my turn.
All right. Alina, my friend, you are up next.
So Elena is going to move a little bit to her left, just looking to find some cover in case, so she's not the one that this big scary thing tries to target. And then peeks up just enough to lift over and see, and whispers something under her breath and cast Dissonant Whispers at the creature. He must make a wisdom saving throw.
26, unfortunately.
Silvery barbs.
Who'd you give the advantage to?
To Carrie, since she's next.
Got it. It rolled better, unfortunately.
So it is going to take half of 3d6. Give me just a moment. 5 points of damage. And that's psychic damage.
All right, anything else from you?
And I already used my reaction, so I can't do anything more. That's it.
So at the end of your turn, Alina, it is going to spend a legendary action. You guys see the corpse reach down to like the side of its rib cage where one of those like undead faces are fused into its body, grabs that face and begins to pull. You see its empty eyes go across the battlefield and land on you, Sage. The deep red glow from these crystals in its body begins to glow brighter from within, making the red lights pour from its empty nose, mouth, ears, as it looks at you and pulls that face free. And with a sickening, wet, squelching sound of tearing flesh, yanks it free, not just the face, but the entire body beneath, and throws it to the ground. You see this thing lies still and broken on the ground before it cracks and moves and shifts and stands slowly and takes on a posture familiar to all of you. Its physical look does not change, but as it looks at Sage, it takes on a familiar posture and raises its hands as if ready to cast. As it creates this horrifying abomination, the wound, the open area that it just pulled this extra corpse from, it continues to bleed that black ichor and bile, as if it pulling it free created an extra enemy, but didn't leave the corpse completely unscathed. With that, it is the corpse's turn. You see it lumbers forward, the ground shaking as its heavy footsteps move towards sort of where Suda, Carrie, and Olwen are all spread out. Due to its massive size, its arms have quite a reach. It turns towards Suda, looking at Alina and Leto lined up directly behind her. And it inhales deeply. You see a lump coming up the front of its chest and the front of its throat as it ejects bile and black ichor in a stream. Please, Suda and Alina, make me a dex saving throw, I believe I wrote down. Yes, a dex save.
18.
9.
Holy shit, Leto actually succeeds.
Good! One of us might survive.
You guys just see this vile ichor bile just burning liquid just launching at you. It sticks to your skin like tar and just begins to sizzle and burn. And it smells like death, of course. That is 11 total, so 11 to Alina, halved and rounded up, of course, 6 for Leto and Suda. Leto looks hurt. He doesn't have a lot of HP. That is it for the corpse's turn. Beautiful. Carrie, you are up next.
I think Carrie is actually going to look over their shoulder to the left at Suda and say, give it everything you've got. And then Carrie is going to burn a channel divinity path to the grave. And the next attack, the creature is vulnerable to all of the damage types. And then I will use my last second level spell slot. I will bonus action spiritual weapon. That's it. That's my turn.
Yeah, why not? At the end of your turn, it's going to take another legendary action, and it's just going to make an attack. Since you're right there, and you're summoning shit in front of it, that's a 26 to hit you, Carrie.
I mean, that hits.
Okay, that is just 9 points of slashing damage as it raises an arm and just claws at you. All right, Suda, you are up next.
Hearing Carrie call out just gives a curt nod and going into a rage.
Fuck yeah. Fuck yeah.
There's
You.
black veins ripple along her arms. She ignites, essentially, rushes forward, and gonna do a reckless attack. It may fuck me over later, but still gonna do it. 20.
20 hits.
Ooh, almost max damage too. 17.
17 damage, double, that's 34?
Yes.
Good hit. You deep into its just rotted form. All right, and that's it for Suda?
That's everything.
Beautiful. Sage, you are up next.
I think for now I am going to cast Summon Shadow Spawn.
Hey, Sage.
Yeah?
I really hate to tell you.
Uh-huh.
The corpse that was pulled out of the other corpse that is looking at you across the battlefield raises his hands in a very similar way of casting spells and casts Counterspell on you.
Great, counterspell.
Oh! Amazing. I love it.
Yeah. So I think, the way this manifests. So you see that silverly outline again extend from her body, holding its form. She's actually aiming it much further out in the distance than you would expect, like beyond this thing, a full, we'll say, maybe about 25 feet behind it, so that none of the party is within 30 feet of this thing. You see that undead caster try to grab that aura out of the air before it can reach where it's going, and Sage just pushes through it, and it almost blows past this thing. You almost see a rush of air as it continues to push past this caster out into the distance, and you see that black hole open in the silhouette's chest. I am casting Summon Shadow Spawn, full 25 feet in the distance. As soon as it appears, again, that rush of wind that went past that caster now shifts and goes the other way. As you hear the sound of this black hole opening, it is using the Dreadful Scream ability. Each creature within 30 feet of it must succeed on a wisdom save against my spell save DC or be frightened of the spirit for 1 minute. I was trying to position it so that my allies are not within range. I don't think I can get the undead caster. I have a feeling this thing might be immune to fear, but I'm trying anyway.
Good try, good try. It is unaffected.
Great. So as soon as that rush of dreadful sound hits, it will also fly forward. It has a fly speed of 40 feet, or movement speed, not fly speed. But it will fly forward and be menacing this thing. Ready to... I'm using the Weight of Sorrow again to slow its movement speed. And Sage will also duck behind some crystals here.
You duck behind some of the crystals for cover. You see, just at the end of your turn, in casting that counterspell, this undead counterpart, you see, weaves a similar shimmering field around itself as it arcane wards itself.
Hell yeah, that's my turn.
All right. At the end of your turn, we actually have our undead caster up next. The undead caster is going to look at you from over the crystals where you're taking cover and turns around and is going to cast Vortex Warp on your Shadow Spawn.
All right, it will resist, so I'm going to have it make a Constitution save. Okay, con save. 12 plus, its con is plus 2, so 14. Which if it's using my spell save DC, that does not pass.
It is going to fail, yeah. So it's just going to send your Shadow Spawn over the edge.
It can't do that.
Oh?
In the text of Vortex Warp, it has to have a solid surface underneath it.
Ooh, you're right. So it's going to move it to the edge of the cliff as far away as possible. That is it for its turn. Olwen, you were up next.
Owen surveys the surroundings, and as things begin to clutter up a bit more, how high up does this pile of rocks and crystals on his side go?
Those ones go up a good, we'll say, like 8 to 10 feet. They're pretty high up, pretty big clusters.
If I get like 8 to 10 feet up on those crystals, can I get a clear shot on most things around?
Yeah, if you want to scramble up, I will ask you to make me just an acrobatics check just to get up there quickly and safely.
At level 6, I have unlocked raccoon energy with a climbing speed.
That's so good. I love that. Yeah, hell yeah. With your climbing speed, easily, you shoot up there.
Owen very quickly scrambles up this crystal, using truly all 4 of his limbs. This is not just legs, no, it's all of him. To get a clear shot across the battlefield, and he is going to very quickly fire 2 arrows at the corpse in between Carrie and Suda. 12 to hit.
Sage, what's your AC?
Well, my AC without my items and without my age armor is only 10.
Is only 10? Then that hits. So it has its AC is 10, yeah.
The corpse takes 12 points of damage.
12 points. You see it hits its arcane ward it has up, but does not entirely take it down.
And I'll fire the second arrow. 14 to hit.
14 hits. Hell yeah.
That one is another 8 points of damage.
Another 8 points. You take down its arcane ward and do a bit of damage to its HP.
Okay, and Olwen will remain sort of perched up on this slightly elevated location, keeping an eye on the battlefield, and I will end my turn.
All right. After you, we have Alina again.
So Elena, scraping off some of the gross stuff that she got hit with, because that hurts. No, but focused. She is going to lift her head up, look over that barrier, see that we've got this new threat that looks sort of like Sage, but isn't Sage on the field. What we're going to do. And she's going to try something a little new. She is going to once again gesture with her hands and mutter something under her breath and cast Crown of Madness on that creature thing, the little one.
The undead caster?
The undead caster.
Got it.
So they need to make a wisdom saving throw or become charmed by me for the duration. It's a 15.
That is, it rolled a 13.
All right, then. It is charmed by me. When it's charmed in this way, a twisted, as the spell hits and lands and takes effect, this twisted crown of jagged iron starts to snake, and it starts at this glow of purpley red at the front of their forehead and then spreads across and around their entire skull. It's this twisted crown of jagged kind of iron thorns and spikes. It looks a lot like our logo designed by the lovely Nightmare King. But it spreads around their head, and their eyes suddenly glow with this weird madness. It now must use an action before moving on each of its turns to make a melee attack against a creature other than itself that I choose.
I know who you're choosing, so perfect.
Oh yeah. And then it's a concentration. I have to use my action to maintain control over the target or it ends. And at the end of every of their turns, they can make a wisdom saving throw to try and get away or get out of it.
Okay, and it's a melee attack it makes, right? You said?
Correct.
Got it. Okay.
And then I'm holding focus, holding concentration, keeping eye contact, but I will also toss a bardic inspiration let's toss it to Carrie. And that is my turn.
Okay, the caster is under your command, and Carrie gets that bardic, and we have the corpse going next. Suda gave it a pretty good hit, so we're going to make an attack. We're going to put its attacks on Suda. So, first attack, that is going to be a 19 to hit.
Right on.
Got it. Okay, so first attack is just going to be a regular claw attack. This is just regular slashing damage, so since you're raging, go ahead and halve whatever this is. Let's see, that's just, oh damn, that's not good damage. That's just 6, so halved 3. Its second attack, however, is going to be the bitch. So that is a 25 to hit. It's not trying to do damage. Make me either an athletics or an acrobatics check. You have to beat that 25.
Yeah, I don't think it's that high. No. 20.
20. You are restrained as it grabs you with one big meaty hand and lifts you a couple feet into the air. That is the end of its turn, but it cocks its arm back. That is its turn. Carrie, you are up next.
Panic mode has engaged. We're ignoring the undead simulacrum of Sage thing, whatever. That's fine. And we're going full attack on the big beefy one holding Suda. I was so close to being a crit, but that's a 26 to hit.
Yeah, absolutely hits.
Groovy. Yeah. Please be a bunch of 6s. Piercing, 19 piercing damage.
Got it.
And for flavor's sake, Carrie is very specifically targeting like the arm or appendage that is holding Suda. I know it's a big, massive thing, but like weaken the arm, weaken its grip, make it easier to break the grapple. You know, if I can chop its arm off, great. That kind of thing.
For sure, because that's so fun, and I love people doing that in D&D, especially against huge creatures. And you did do a good hit to it. We'll do that. I would say advantage for Suda, but already has that with the athletics. So I'll just lower the DC, just to give you a tad of a better chance. Just because I think that's so fun when people do that.
Great. And then for my bonus action, I will also have my spiritual weapon make an attack against the big boy. That's gonna miss because that's a 2 on the die, so that's all she wrote. That's all she got.
Yeah, it'll just use its legendary action to make another attack at the end of your turn. We'll attack Carrie. Carrie, that is an 18 to hit.
Yeah.
Okay, that's pretty good damage. So that is another 9 points of slashing. All right, end of your turn. Suda, it is yours. So what you're looking at, you're trapped in its fist being held up in the air. You know what that arm motion is about to mean. Luckily, you are going before its turn again. Like I said, you have your advantage on athletics get out plus a lower DC due to Carrie's precise attack.
Then I will not lose the advantage and try and break free. 16.
16 does not quite do it. It rolled really good when it got you, unfortunately.
Was that her action to try to escape?
Yes, unfortunately.
Now I will curse the corpse though.
Hell yeah.
And that's it.
All right, Sage, you are up next.
Your girl is low on spell slots, but you know what? I have 1 second level slot left. I got you, boo, as always. Quick vortex warp to get Suda out of that thing's grasp. Suda, how beat up are you looking right now? Should I be keeping you in melee range is what I'm trying to decide.
Yeah, you can. I'm okay.
Great. I just blurp her right back where she was before it grabbed her.
Damn it, I don't get to do my special thing.
I think it reels back. It reels back to throw her, but the vortex warp appears right in front of where it's throwing her. So instead of flying through the air into the distance, it just Suda's, and I think her feet slide on the ground a little bit as she lands.
Fuck yeah, that's awesome.
Yeah. Oh, that's amazing. Yeah, you get thrown through a portal and it's like you're bracing for that damage, and then it's just like, it's like a second of like, wait, oh, I'm fine, okay.
I am now out of second level spell slots. Nobody else needs to be vortex warped for the rest of the combat, okay? You're not allowed. And then, Sage is going to continue to duck like a little weenie wizard as she is. That is going to be her turn. The Shadow Spawn will come back in and get some depressing coldness into this thing's heart as it's reaching out with a chilling rend attack. About 17 plus 8 to hit.
Yeah, that absolutely hits.
10 plus 6 for 16 points of cold damage. And that will be my turns.
You guys see the corpse is not looking like super hurt, but like you guys have done a good chunk of damage to it. End of your turn. Is it gonna? Yeah, it's gonna. The thing is charmed. It's of no use to the corpse right now. You see the corpse using a legendary action at the end of your turn. Seems to very quickly survey the battlefield and looks at the undead caster that is currently charmed and is of no use to it right now. Reaches down, grabs it by the head, picks it up, and doesn't begin to eat it. Just begins to shove it forcibly down its own throat, forcing it back into the vile mothership. You hear the crunching of bones and the tearing of flesh as you just see the bulge on the front of its chest and stomach as it just unhinges its jaw like a snake. Again, not eating it, just shoving it forcibly down its own throat to absorb this creature back. It's going to heal itself by doing this. End of that, we are back to Olwyn's turn at the top of our round.
Olwen will continue raining down arrows. He was focused on the smaller corpse, but as that was charmed and then proceeded to be eaten, he will switch back to the large creature and continue shooting at it from atop these little crystal pile. That is 16 to hit and then 21 to hit.
16 misses, 21 hits.
That is 15 points of damage. And he will continue perching up here, making sure to keep an eye in case he needs to do something else than just shoot this thing.
It still has one more legendary action before its turn, so it's just going to make an attack on Suda. It's upset that it couldn't do its big attack on Suda, so now it's just lashing out. That actually might not hit. That's an 18. I think that's right below your AC.
So it misses.
All right, we have Alina again.
My crown of thorns got eaten. Grr. Fine. Be that way. And so Elena is going to upcast a Dissonant Whispers. So that is a 15 wisdom save.
That is 18.
Passes, so he still takes half of 5d6. 1, 2, 3, 4. We'll go with that one. 5. Like I said, she's not pulling at this point. 14, so 7 points of damage.
All right.
Then,
Ooh.
first time she's been able to do this, he just took psychic damage. As a reaction, she's seen him, she popped her head up to see this happen, so she's now going to use Chorus of the Deep to expend a use and try and charm them with a wisdom saving throw against my spell CDC. Second wisdom saving throw, please.
All right. It's pretty good at wisdom, but it could fail. That is a 22, unfortunately.
And then I am going to... So that charm just failed. Charm failed. So now, Siren Scorn.
6th level.
So it fails, and like, she's pissed. She is angry. Her eyes just go dark, dark, dark purple blue. And I just sing out 8.
Beautiful. And that is also, that's more psychic, right?
Yes, I believe so.
Got it.
And that is my turn. I now can do nothing, no reactions, no nothing. That was everything.
Amazing. That was a good turn. That was a lot of good damage. All right. Our corpse is going to go next. I think it's going to reposition. I think it's going to take a opportunity attack from Carrie, but it's going to reposition because it wants to hit more people. So it repositions itself to move around to Suda's right side so it can line everyone up easier.
Great, that's a natural 20. Oh, that's delightful. I'm gonna roll them bones. Okay. Hey, I need a lot of 6s, okay? Just give me the 6s. 35.
Hell yeah, good opportunity attack. And since that was just the opportunity attack, it's going to continue with its thing. So it's going to use its breath weapon. So I will have, that is Suda, Carrie, yes, and Sage.
And what kind of save is this again?
Dex.
5.
3.
24.
23 for those who failed. Halved to 12 for Carrie. Yeah, that's all it can do for this turn. So Carrie, you are up next.
I am going to use my action to cast Bane on the big boy. And I believe that's a charisma save. DC 15.
Really picked a good save. It fails miserably.
So yeah, I will Bane the big boy, and then I will bonus action have my spiritual weapon, my giant ghostly knife, float on over next to it, and my spiritual weapon just crit.
Let's fucking go.
I wish my spiritual weapon could have sneak attack. That would be unbelievably cool. 17 bludgeoning damage from my spiritual weapon.
Pretty good amount of damage. It's looking pretty hurt. You guys have done significant damage to it so far. End of your turn. Legendary action again. Once again, it reaches, grabs one of those faces, grabs one on like the back of its shoulder, and pulls it free with that same ripping tear sound. Throws it on the ground with a wet slap against the stone. And instead of stumbling to its feet, it jumps up with precision and grace and crouches down, using bone fragments as blades. And looks at you, Carrie. All right. End of your turn, we have Suda.
Suda is so focused on bringing this titan down, knocking away the limbs and looking for a spot to just drive her sword in. Again, going reckless, because, YOLO. 25.
25 absolutely hits.
18 points.
Looking hurt, everyone. Looking hurt. It is stumbling some of those extra limbs that are sprouting from its back and body in unnatural angles are sloughing off to the ground. It is just pouring this horrible ichor bile material. The stench and the sounds, it is in rough shape. Anything else from Suda?
Nope, that's everything.
Okay. End of its turn, it's going to use another legendary action just to make another attack. That will be against... so that is going to be 21 to hit.
All right, how much damage?
Okay. So for Suda, that is just 10 halved to 5.
Oof. Suda's looking pretty banged up at this point.
Okay, Sage, you are up next.
Okay, I have precious few spell slots left. I'm debating if I should save them to be able to shield, but it seems like I'm getting more AoEs than things targeting my AC. But I don't trust like that, so we're gonna stick to a cantrip. I'm gonna go ahead and firebolt who the corpse henceforth known as Shadow Carradine. That's over 20 to hit. Doing this on the hopes that the fire damage will be better and then psychic. Oh, 10 plus 1. I got the 2 extremes, so 11 fire damage with that action. I think Sage does have a torch in her hand, and she just kind of takes the fire and takes it in her hand and throws it. And then no bonus action for now because I'm still concentrating on the Shadow Spawn, which will swoop in and try to instill the cold of the void into this thing again. Actually, you know what? We're gonna go for Shadow Carradine with the Shadow Spawn as well, because I can position it so that it is not going to harm the movement of my allies, and Carradine's pretty quick. I don't want it to be able to reach me. 15 plus 8 hit for 6 plus 6, 12 damage. And that is my turn.
All right, we are going to go back up to the top of the round with Olwyn Tanner once again.
Olwen surveys the fight as it's happening, and he's going to glance towards the cliff side. Does the cliff have a wall? So cliff then wall? Is that how it is, or no?
You guys are on a little landing between staircases. There's a tiny little stone wall at the edge of the landing, just like a normal railing, easy enough to step over, and then it's about 5 feet of cliff, and then it drops down below.
Olwen is going to take his Corpse Slayer longbow and put it away. I'm going to pull out a grappling hook, and I would like to make an improvised weapon attack against the corpse.
Fuck yeah, I love where this is going.
So I'm not proficient in improvised attacks. This will just be d20 plus dexterity. 13.
13 misses, unfortunately.
I'll make a second attack.
Hell yeah.
17.
17 just misses.
As that misses, Olwen is going to rush a little bit across this railing. He's going to run across it, keeping his balance, and position himself on the opposite side of everyone else to see if he can gather a bit of attention away.
Got it. Yeah, you slide off this crystalline cluster that you've been perched on with precision, going across the railing, jumping over more of the crystals, positioning yourself behind.
And I am going to bonus action, grab onto the crystal, and the same sort of rock-like hardening begins to cascade across his body as I use my last merge with stone to give myself resistance to a couple damage types. And that'll be my turn.
All right. End of your turn. Before we go to Alina, actually, we have our Undead Rogue going next. Undead Rogue here gives just a slight flick of the head towards Carrie, is going to bonus action disengage, turn around, and sprint towards Olwen. So we're just going to make some attacks against Olwen. Unfortunately, this rogue, with the reach of the big corpse, is going to get its sneak attack. Olwen, 26 hits ya?
By about 10 or so, yes.
Okay, sick, yeah, so it does crit on you. Jesus. That is going to be 24 points of slashing damage to you. I'm so sorry. I crit. I didn't double it because of the crit. So 24 doubled is 48.
Okay, then half to 24.
Okay, beautiful. We have Alina next.
You know what? If at first you succeed, try again. 3rd level Dissonant Whispers. Save of 15.
This is for Big Boy.
Big boy.
Got it. It's going to use its legendary resistance. Hasn't had to do so yet. I should have done it when it was baned, which is when I got upset at myself because I forgot, but... Okay, with its legendary resistance, it is 19. That is with the bane subtracted.
12 points of damage.
Got it.
Psychic, and you know what? I'm doing it. Gonna burn another Chorus of the Deep. Attempt to charm. 15 again. Still baned.
Hell yeah. That is another 19.
Then, let's do this. Siren Scorn.
Fuck yeah.
5, 6, 7, 8. 9 more points.
Amazing.
I have nothing left to do except move. I think, given that I've been throwing these hits, I might take a step deeper into the crystals and rocks and just kind of duck down just because, like, I don't want to be a target.
Cool. Perfect. It does still have a legendary action left. Sorry, I was counting in my head. It'll go against Suda again. Okay. Plus 8. That is dirty 20 to hit. All right. That is 9 slashing halved to 5. All right. And then that was just its last legendary action before its turn, and now it is its turn. Oh, let me roll to see if it regains its breath weapon. Jesus, it does. You know what? Since it does, it's just gonna do that shit again. Let's do another dex save from our same 3 from last time. Let's go for Suda, Carrie, and Sage.
7 + 1 for 8.
Yeah, dirty 20.
13.
It's pretty hurts. It is also on its last leg. I know some of y'all are getting hurt, but it's not doing too well either. That is 8 to 10. So 10 for those who failed, 5 for those who succeeded.
That is exactly my hit points.
So we have Suda go down.
Suda falls under the splash of bile, that black flame sputtering out as it burns her skin.
Carrie, you are up next. Suda is on the ground. Your parties, there are some members of your party that are pretty hurt, some others that are doing okay. You see the corpse is fairly hurt, and it has the little undead rogue over in the corner attacking Olwen. What would you like to do?
So this giant corpse thing looks bad?
Yeah, it's pretty hurt. You guys have done a lot of damage to it.
I'm gonna guiding bolt. I'm going to guiding bolt the enormous corpsey thing. That is a 19 to hit.
19 does hit.
20 points of radiant damage.
Oof. Amazing.
I'll burn that advantage to swing on it with my spiritual weapon. 19 plus whatever to hit.
Mm-hmm.
10 points of force damage.
Looking very hurt.
It might be stupid, but might be not. Carrie will move around the outside edge of the entangling whatever, not using the difficult terrain, but basically like standing like next to, slightly over Suda's unconscious body. Because I don't trust that this thing won't swing on someone who's already down. So I am shielding Suda's body with my own, and that is my turn.
You save it from having to move. It's going to use its legendary action to swing on you. That is a dirty 20 to hit. That is 10 points of slashing.
Okay. Oh, I'm not looking too good.
All right, end of your turn. We have Suda. Suda, please make me a death save. Do not say it out loud. Message me what it is. We keep death rolls secret. Sage, you are up next.
So, Sage is going to, immediately upon seeing Suda collapse, come out from behind the crystals that she has been hiding behind, run up and immediately, it's about 20 feet from her current position, so I'm using 20 feet of movement here, immediately be making some first aid checks here. Sage is not aware of the little bit of her arcane energy that imbues this, and you are stabilized, Winter. You are not conscious yet, but you are not making death saves anymore. You are stable. G, would you allow it if I were to, say, Sage kind of just pulls Suda's unconscious body a little bit away from it, just essentially switching our places so that I'm closer to the corpse than she is without risking her body taking an opportunity attack.
Just because of its reach, even if you're like switching places with Suda, it's not technically leaving its melee range.
Oh yeah, just narratively putting my body between her and the corpse.
Yeah, that's totally cool. Yeah, you do your spare the dying, stabilize, and then basically similar vein to Carrie, just put yourself in front of Suda.
Yeah, and I think you see as she's like preparing, already getting ready to cast shield, as she is now face to face with this thing, or face to probably somewhere around the shin, considering how big it is. She is preparing to cast shield here as she is now right in that melee range. The shadow spawn will again continue to try to keep Shadow Caradwin busy. It's going to reach out and do a attack, 19 plus 8 to hit. That's a 1, so only 7 cold damage. And that will be my turn.
It's gonna, of course, do another legendary action. It's focused on getting people out of the game, so it's gonna swing on Carrie again. That is a dirty 20.
That hits.
That is another 10 slashing damage.
I'm still up. I got 1 hit point left. I've got 1 hit point left.
The only one that matters!
The only one that matters. Oh my god.
All right. After that, it is Olwyn's turn.
Yeah, I think I'm gonna make that grappling hook attack again. 12, so I'll use extra attack on it.
Okay.
That will also miss. I think at this point, Olwen is going to... He's going to position himself 10 feet to the left, sort of lining up with the shadow spawn. And I'm going to use my item interaction to light a torch. Okay, yeah, and I think that's it.
Okay, beautiful. After your turn, our undead rogue is actually up next, so it is just going to slash on you again. That is 16 to hit.
That just hits.
Got it. So that is 9 points of slashing on you. Alina, you are up next.
Let's do it one more time. Dissonant Whispers. This time I'm going to do it at a level 2, so it'll be 4. So give me a 15 wisdom save, and I believe Bane affects this.
That's even with Bane, still 22. You rolled pretty
All
well.
right. 3, 6, 7, 8. 9 points halved.
Got it. Have to 5.
And you know what? Screw it. We're going to try it again. Charm. Again, wisdom throw.
It's 21 for that save.
Great. So it made that. So then you failed that. That was 3 of those. And then let's do a Siren Scorn.
Hell yeah.
6, 7, 8, 9. Still up?
Badly damaged, but still up. Still up. You guys are getting close. All right. Anything else from Alina?
No, I can't really. Even if I move, I can't do anything for healing or helping there. So yeah, that's my turn.
Okay. At the end of your turn, going into the corpse beaten down and covered in this strange black ichor that seems to act as its blood, just falling apart at the seams, it seems. But still standing, raising its arms, not quite ready to let all of you go. We're going to end our session there, actually, before we continue on with this fight at the top of the corpse's next turn. Everyone, take a deep breath. We're still alive. We're still alive. We're going to make it.
Easy for all of you to say.
I will not let any of you fuckers die. You're not allowed to die.
Joke's on you.
No. G, no you won't.
Close. I still might get some of you before the corpse goes down. I want to take at least one more person down. That's my goal. At least. If that's all I do, I'm satisfied.
Come at me.
I mean, it could be me. I just want to say hi to the dirt man real quick.
thank you all so much for joining us. I hope you're having a fun time here in our final phase of our first major boss battle. It has been a trip. I've had so much fun doing this battle, and I can't wait to see how it ends. I hope you'll join us next time for our conclusion to this giant journey into more Akros. We'll see you next time, everyone. Remember to take care of yourselves today. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Save us!